Welcome to the Hello Lovely podcast. I'm your host, Christie Williams, and I teach women how to be themselves. As an exclusive life coach for women, I'll teach you how to manage anxiety, make decisions you're confident in, and stop beating yourself up. So let's get started. Hello. Today we are talking about a very important topic that gets overlooked all the time. We wait to do it, we don't let ourselves do it, and we feel guilty when we do it. Can you guess what it is? It's celebrate. So this episode is entitled Permission to Celebrate, because there's so much every day that we can enjoy and celebrate. But the weight of suffering around us or things that happened in the past can rest so heavy on our shoulders. And what I'm going to do today is give you an example of this, very personal one. But it is a great example of how we can sometimes feel guilty for enjoying things if someone, anyone, anywhere in the world is suffering. And it can happen because we care. We care so much that people are sick or not doing well or going through challenges. But what happens is we link it to whether or not we allow ourselves to celebrate or enjoy something. So I'm going to talk about my example today, and I'm in hopes that it is helpful for you if this is something you're experiencing. Okay, so let's get right to it. So my sister got cancer from a very young age. I believe she was 9. And we were a few years apart, and I'm younger than her. So I was about 5 years old. And she had different health issues as she grew up and had different challenges. She was so young when she got it, and it was a long time ago. So the treatments were different then than they are now. And there wasn't a lot of experience with children that age having cancer. So making that long story short, she had a lot of challenges into her adult life. And I felt incredibly guilty for being healthy. I remember even being on the school bus in middle school and just thinking that I felt so guilty that I was healthy and that she wasn't. And that's it. Just being healthy. I felt guilty. Now, Nikki, that's my sister's name, she loved her life. She enjoyed every moment. Now, of course, while she was going through challenges and actually in treatments, she was a trooper and she got through it. But she went right back to having fun and enjoying her life as soon as possible. Like, you couldn't keep her down. And let me tell you, there were a lot of things that tried to keep her down. Even her body as she got older, and she passed away a few years ago at almost 40 years old. Her body had changed so much, but she was a trooper and she was not, you just couldn't keep her down. But I would see how her body was changing and the limitations that she had, and just felt so guilty. Just so guilty. So one thing was a feeding tube. She loved chocolate. Oh my goodness, you couldn't have fit more Little Debbie cakes into our pantry. She loved Swiss rolls and cookies and all the things. And I guess about 15 years ago, she had changes to her throat and she couldn't eat through her mouth anymore. Now, while it is a huge blessing to have the technology when someone can be fed through their stomach when that happens, it was heartbreaking that she couldn't enjoy those Little Debbies anymore. Just something that small. I felt so guilty eating around her or enjoying a treat. I just felt like a selfish person. And when she died, that guilt rolled over and became, now I feel selfish to be alive. Now, while I absolutely cherish my life intellectually, and I am grateful for what I have, and I have my own physical struggles and value my life so much, I came to a halt in my goals when she died because it felt pointless to go after things. I was just feeling so guilty enjoying them. It was like, if this is how you're going to feel going after your goals, why go for them? So if this is where you're at and this is what you've experienced, I got you. Sometimes we feel selfish because we feel guilty that someone else is suffering and we're not. And this is so important to know. You are not selfish for being alive. And I realized I was living my life through a filter of, it should have been me. I should have been the one who was sick. And I didn't realize how much that thinking over and over, even though it seemed like a small sentence, that was making me feel guilty. I was living through that filter of it should have been me and really believing that at some level. And it wasn't Nikki's illness that made me feel guilty. It wasn't Nikki's death that made me feel guilty. It was when I thought it should have been me or that I was selfish for being healthy. That's when I was living through a filter where I didn't enjoy my life because I thought I didn't deserve it. It was when I thought it should have been me that I was living through a filter where I didn't deserve to enjoy my life because it should have been me, as if that was true. It's just amazing how our mindset really impacts what we do next. It really does, you guys. And I got to be honest with you, this is hard to share. This is hard to share. But it is so common for us to feel guilty to enjoy things when someone else is suffering. And I'm going to try to get through this without crying, but I can't make any promises. It's not always obvious how our thinking can impact us so much. So even though I had a lot around me to celebrate, and don't get me wrong, I was definitely celebrating things, I didn't give myself permission to do it without guilt. It was like, oh, I'm having too much fun. Oh, I shouldn't be laughing or enjoying. It was just this restriction I was putting on myself that didn't even make any sense. So now let me tell you something about Nikki. I didn't intend to use this podcast in this way, but it's happening. Nikki was one of the strongest, kindest people I have ever met. There's nothing I remember her complaining about. And every day she would look in the mirror at how pretty she was with her breathing tube and her feeding tube and her pretty clips in her hair. And she couldn't really talk clearly anymore at that point with the trach. But her expression on her face was always like, yep, looking good. And I just miss her so much. She really was like my first life coach. And I didn't know it. And she didn't know it. Believe me, she loved her life so much. She was such an example of what's possible. And I can't wait to tell her how much she impacted my life and how much I love her. And she already knew how much I loved her, but I'm going to let it be known again. And there is no way she would want me feeling guilty and shaming myself because I'm alive and she's not. No way. So continuing to do that for me would be a choice. And I had to ask myself when I realized that's what I was doing to myself, why would I choose to keep doing that? And my answer is, I don't. I called out my brain and my thinking and acknowledged that it did feel true at one time, but it's busted. I get to celebrate every stinking moment of my life. She would want me to. And if it was reversed, she absolutely would be too. More than that, I want me to. I have this beautiful gift of life. And it is not a consolation prize. It is beautiful. I love being alive. And it doesn't mean that there's no suffering. And it doesn't mean I don't have problems. There are tons, and I could list them out. But giving yourself permission to celebrate doesn't devalue in any way suffering that someone else is having. I read this quote somewhere, and I wish I could remember who it was so I could give them credit. But anyway, it's not my quote, but it's good, and I'm going to mess it up. But it's something to the effect of being sick or getting sick doesn't help someone who is sick. And it just struck me when I read that or heard it. But the point I got from it was there are moments that you are with someone, that you want to express sympathy, empathy, compassion. But in the world, suffering is happening all over the place, all day long. It is absolutely expected right now. It's part of how this world is. And there is also a lot to celebrate. And you better believe that I am going to celebrate every single moment I possibly can and go after my goals because I am alive. When you celebrate, you don't devalue someone else's suffering. No way. It's the opposite. It is a celebration of life. Your crew loves to see you celebrate. Your crew loves to see you powerful, and your crew is there for you when you're suffering and you're not celebrating. And even in those moments, there are opportunities to celebrate something. All of it is the human experience right now. And don't miss out on the celebration because you're guilting yourself for being alive. Nikki wouldn't want that for me. She wouldn't want it for you either. One day you'll get to meet her. I am 100% going to see her again. And when I do, I'm going to tell her how much I missed her and how much she was a part of the inspiration to celebrate my life as much as possible. And there are going to be plenty of times that I'm going to cry because I miss her, and I'm allowing that for myself too. But this is the tool that I want you to have in your tool belt. The permission slip to celebrate. It's okay to enjoy the things you're going after. It's okay to enjoy the successes that you had. It's okay, more than okay, to celebrate this beautiful gift of life as much as possible. I love you all so much, and I'll see you next week. Hey, lovely, if you want to be more confident on the outside, you have to start on the inside. If you don't take time to create an amazing relationship with yourself, it will show up in every other area of your life. If you feel stuck or don't know how to be yourself, I invite you to work with me one-on-one. Go to MissChristieWilliams.com and sign up for a free call to join my 6-month program. That's MissChristieWilliams.com, and I'll see you in session.